Alright, welcome to part 10 of Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. This may very well be the last normal episode of this series, because as I said earlier, we might do bonus episodes. Or I will do bonus episodes for doing all the mini-games and whatnot that required handheld mode, and, you know, stuff like the Pro Controller and the camera that I don't have yet. So I'll definitely be doing bonus episodes for those. So, we got a lot of quizzes to get through, so let's just get started. You can learn more about the Nintendo Switch 2 console's heat dissipation methods here. You'll find out about parts that are sensitive to heat, how heat is transferred, and more. Alright. 3, here we go. Heat sensitive. One thing about the Nintendo Switch 2 console's system memory is that it's susceptible to heat. The system memory should be kept as cool as possible. That's why it's been positioned close to one of the air inlets. What's more, we made sure that it wasn't near other parts that heat up. And there's one last thing. The wiring conducts heat easily because it's made of copper. So we gave the system memory its own spot away from any wiring. This reduces the transfer heat, and as a result, the system memory is protected from heat. Heat is spread evenly. Inside the Nintendo Switch 2 console, it's normal for parts to get hot. But some parts are difficult to cool down with air alone. We've used a couple of different methods to solve this. The first being graphite sheets, and the second a substance called thermal grease, both of which are good at conducting heat. By using these, heat is evenly distributed across the parts that get hot, so they only become a little warm, because a lot of air gets to this warmer area. The console can be easily cooled. Graphite sheets have been attached to plastic on the back, as well as to other parts such as the microSD Express memory card slot. The thermal grease, meanwhile, is used for the main computer. Transferring heat. Do you know which part of the Nintendo Switch 2 console produces the most heat? It's the main computer, also known as the SoC. All this heat from the SoC needs somewhere to go, which is where the heat pipe comes in. It carries the heat to the air outlet. The inside of the heat pipe is a vacuum. There's a little water in there too. The water is heated by the SoC, turns into steam, and moves toward the colder side. Then when it reaches the air outlet, it turns back to water, and returns to the SoC through a process called capillary action. This carries on over and over, transporting heat to the air outlet. This way, even the part that generates the most heat gets cooled down. Alright, and here comes the quiz. 1. What measure was implemented to prevent heat from transferring across the space marked in red? A set of curtains was added, a metal wall was added, heat absorption, wiring was kept away. What heat-conducting substance is used to distribute the heat of the Nintendo Switch 2 console's main computer? Superconductive grease, bacon grease, good one, thermal grease, and bearing grease. 3. What moves around inside the heat pipe to transfer heat from the Nintendo Switch 2 console's main computer? Metal powder, air, a small amount of water, special oil. Alright, and there we go. That's a perfect score. Alright, and that's another one down. Alright, now we're done with this fan area. Isn't there one down here? Yes, there is. Alright. Glad I came over here. Are you familiar with the SoC? How about CPU? GPU? Alright, let's go. I thought so. Here's main computer insights 1. The main computer. What have we here? Why, it's the Nintendo Switch 2 console's main computer. NVIDIA. It's what's known as the SoC, system on a chip. This single chip has all sorts of capabilities. It accesses both the CPU and GPU, handles video and sound, extracts compressed data, shows images on screens, and interacts with the main memory and system memory. Needless to say, it's a very important chip. The CPU. Within the Nintendo Switch 2 console's main computer, there's a part called the CPU, Central Processing Unit. It calculates how characters move, switches from one scene to another. In short, lots of calculations are happening here. The Nintendo Switch 2 console CPU is several times faster than the CPU in the Nintendo Switch console. The faster the CPU is, the better it is at displaying lots of characters on screen, and the better it is at performing more complex motion. The GPU. Within the Nintendo Switch 2 console's main computer, you'll find the GPU, Graphics Processing Unit. Its main purpose is to perform calculations for drawing images on the screen. The Nintendo Switch 2 console's GPU is several times faster than the GPU on the Nintendo Switch console. The faster the GPU is, the better it gets at generating more complex and detailed images. Also, the GPU is where machine learning and ray tracing calculations take place. Alright, quiz. One. What three letters are used to refer to the Nintendo Switch console's main computer? DOG, HOT, SOC, CAT. Nice. Dog, hot, cat. Nice. 2. Which part of the Nintendo Switch 2 console's main computer calculates things like scene transitions and how characters move? The CPU, the GPU. 3. Which part of the Nintendo Switch 2 console's main computer mainly performs drawing calculations? The CPU, the GPU. Let's go. Perfect score. Alright. We got one over here. So we still got this little one up here, and then we got a couple down there. 73% though. Making good progress. So what are your thoughts on super resolution? How about ray tracing? What do you think of that? Yeah, I hear you. Presenting main computer insights too. Read more. Let's go. A sharper, more detailed picture. With the Nintendo Switch 2 console's main computer, sharper and more detailed images can be produced. This process is called super resolution. In games that support super resolution, the computer performs machine learning calculations and predicts what kind of detailed picture it should draw. This results in a clearer, more detailed picture. Machine learning calculations. Inside the GPU of the Nintendo Switch 2 console's main computer, there's a place for performing machine learning calculations. This place contains what are called tensor cores. Using certain fixed patterns, tensor cores can perform multiplication and addition incredibly quickly. These operations are used to perform machine learning calculations. There are plenty of things that can be done with machine learning calculations. For example, you can make the game's picture clear in more detail, or you can erase everything except the people from a camera's video feed. Ray tracing. Inside the GPU of the Nintendo Switch 2 console's main computer, there's a place that calculates ray tracing, which is a way of drawing images. This place contains what are called RT cores. RT cores can calculate whether or not there's light hitting polygons, and it does this incredibly quickly. In games that use ray tracing, these calculations can be used to simulate light, reflections, and make images look more realistic. Yeah, that's actually crazy. Alright, quiz time. One. Through which process does the Nintendo Switch 2 console's main computer draw sharper, more detailed pictures? Transformation, Alsatian, Super Resolution, Vacation. 2. What does the part of the Nintendo Switch 2 console's GPU that can quickly perform addition and multiplication calculate? Loose change, dates, the number pi, machine learning calculations. Question 3. What can be simulated with the Nintendo Switch 2 console's GPU ray tracing calculations? Car physics, light reflections, characters' feelings, company management. The person who wrote that fourth one had some beef. Alright, every question right? Know the ins and outs of the main computer by now. Alright. And we're done over here. So we're moving on. We're in this last section over here. Another quiz right here. Do you know why the microphone is built into the console? Or maybe you're curious about the history of Nintendo's chat features. Let's go. We're going to bring up We Speak. Let's go. All kinds of microphones. The Nintendo Switch 2 console does have a built-in microphone, but you can also use a different microphone if you'd like. For instance, you can plug a microphone into the audio jack. or you can attach it via USB port to the console or the dock. You can even plug it into the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller's audio jack. You've got plenty of options, so feel free to take your pick. Whichever microphone you settle on, the chip will make your voice easier to hear. One microphone is enough. You might notice that the Nintendo Switch 2 console only has a single microphone. Sure, there's some devices out there that come fitted with 2 or 3. Having 2 or 3 microphones makes it easier to pick up a person's voice from a specific direction. But in TV mode, you're free to point the Nintendo Switch 2 dock in any direction you want. You're also free to speak anywhere in the room. This means that you don't need the microphone specifically pointing at someone. Also, Nintendo Switch 2 has a chip that makes it easier for it to pick up your voice, and it's customized specially for games, so it can pick up your voice loud and clear. And that's why just a single microphone will be enough. Why is the mic on the console? The Nintendo Switch 2 microphone is built into the console, but we initially considered putting it someplace else, like on the Switch 2 dock, the Joy-Con 2 grip, or on the Joy-Con 2. The problem was, the microphone would only be useful in TV mode if it was part of the dock, and it wouldn't be usable in handheld mode if it was part of the grip, and if we put it on the Joy-Con 2 controller, it would have made it harder for the microphone to pick up voices when you were using motion controls. We wanted to make the mic easy to use, and we wanted this to apply whether you're using the console in handheld mode, TV mode, or tabletop mode, not to mention when you're using motion controls. That's why we decided to build it into the console. Nintendo and chat features. Okay, lore. When it comes to voice chat, Nintendo has a long-standing history. You need only look back on titles like Pokemon Diamond and Pearl for Nintendo DS, Animal Crossing City Folk for Wii and its compatibility with the Wii Speak accessory, Pokemon X and Y for Nintendo 3DS, Wii U Chat for Wii U, and the Nintendo Switch Online Smart Device app for Nintendo Switch as of May 2025. Players have been able That's a typo. Found a typo, guys. We found our first typo, like at the end of the game. Players have been able to use. Oh yeah, it should be to use, not used to. Players have been able to use their voices in a lot of different ways. What's more, you could even talk with people far away using the light telephone released in 1971, exclusive to Japan. I'm kind of surprised they brought up Wii U Chat, X and Y, like it's Diamond Pearl, City Folk, X and Y, Wii U Chat, and the NSO Smart Device app, which is no longer known as that because of the rebranding that app went under like a week ago. You want me to never spring a quiz on you? No problem, homie. Been doing this all game. I can do a couple more. 1. Which of the following devices can you connect a microphone to in order to more easily hear people's voices? Only the console, only the dock, only the Pro Controller. All of the above. 2. How many microphones are built into the console? 1, 2, or 3? 1. 3. In which mode is the Nintendo Switch 2 console's microphone intended to be used? TV mode, handheld mode, tabletop mode, all of the above. 4. What could you use to chat when using the Wii Speak accessory? Paper cups and some string. Telepathy, your voice, hand gestures. Had to specifically use Wii Speak as your question. They knew it was a meme. But every answer correct, you might know more about microphones than I do. Alright, we are almost done here. I've done a lot. Okay, we only got like a couple more to go, so strap yourselves in, boys. We're at 82%. Making good progress. So next up is you. You can learn about the console's memory here. You'll get to find out the particulars of the console's memory, such as its speed. You can feast your eyes on memory insights. Alright. Main memory versus system memory. There are 2 kinds of memory at play here. One is main memory, and the other is system memory, internal storage. Both types of memory read and write data, but they're actually different from one another. Main memory is read from and written to faster, but the data is lost when the Nintendo Switch 2 console is powered off. System memory, however, has slower read and write operations, but the data is retained when the console is powered off. For that reason, the main computer uses main memory when it needs to read and write faster, however it uses the console's system memory to store downloaded games. For example, The download games on the console system memory are loaded into main memory before the main computer begins to read and write. Each memory type does the work it's best suited for. Bigger main memory. The Switch 2 console's main memory loads programs and data from the console's system memory. Main memory can also be used to store the results of the main computer's calculations. The Switch 2 system's main memory is 3 times larger than that of the Switch 1 systems. This can be used to display more character models, and create larger worlds. Faster main memory. The Nintendo Switch 2 console's main memory has twice as much circuitry as Nintendo Switch consoles. It also uses a method that lets it read and write data twice as fast. So compared to Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Switch 2 console's main memory is up to 4 times faster. This faster in many areas and is able to perform more calculations in the same amount of time. Not only that, the Nintendo Switch 2 console's main memory is comparable to that of smart devices. That said, on many smart devices, the main memory is found on top of the main computer. When it comes to Nintendo Switch 2, the main memory is put away from the main computer. This makes it harder for the main memory to heat up and allows for additional circuitry. It's designed to perform a lot of calculations. Memory refresh. When it comes to the console's main memory, data written to the main memory will be lost once the power is shut off. To prevent this data loss, power must be supplied repeatedly. This is called refreshing. When it comes to Nintendo Switch 2, data is not easily lost. It refreshes more than 200,000 times per second. Quiz. Let's go. I think we only have 2 more after this one, so we're almost done here. Memory. 1. Which of the following reads and writes data faster but loses its data when the power is turned off? That would be main memory. 2. The Nintendo Switch 2 console's main memory can handle how much more data than the Nintendo Switch 2... English. The Nintendo Switch 2 console's main memory can handle how much more data than the Nintendo Switch console's main memory? 1.5x, 2x, 3x, the same amount. 3. The Nintendo Switch 2 console's main memory does not get hot easily because it's located away from what? The fan, the microphone, the magnetic connectors, the main computer. 4. How many times does the Nintendo Switch 2 console's main memory refresh per second? 200 times, 2,000 times, 20,000 times, more than 200,000 times. Oh, I missed one. What did I miss? It's probably the... Oh, no. What did I miss? Oh, is it different? Is it more than 2x? It's probably 3x. It is 3x. I've been bamboozled. I've been absolutely bamboozled. Main memory. 3x. The main computer. And more than 200,000 times. There we go. Alright, not a mistake. Say you must have learned a lot about the Nintendo Switch console's memory. You could say I have a good memory for the memory. Except when I failed the quiz, we don't talk about that. Anyway, so we can learn about the Nintendo Switch 2 console storage here. You'll get to know about the console storage speed, past examples of Nintendo downloadable game data, and more. More history. I'm ready for more history. 256 gigabytes. Plenty of things can be stored in Nintendo Switch 2 system memory, from games saved at and downloaded games, to photos and videos taken with the capture button. It has a capacity of 256 gigabytes. That's 8 times more than system memory on Nintendo Switch, 4 times more than the OLED model. This means it's easier to add games that take up more space. What's fastest? When it comes to reading from and writing to the system memory, Nintendo Switch 2 works differently from Nintendo Switch. Assuming a buffer size of 4 megabytes, Nintendo Switch 2 can read and write roughly 8 times faster than its predecessor. However, some games may be doing more in the background than just loading, so the loading speed isn't guaranteed to be around 8 times faster. Also, out of all the storage mediums that hold game data, it's the system memory that can be read the fastest. It's even faster than a game card or a microSD express memory card. That's interesting, so system memory is faster. Nintendo and saving downloaded games. Nintendo has a long history of letting you save games in the form of downloads. 0.5 gigabytes. EA 2006. And DSi 2009, 0.25 gigabytes. 3DS 2011, save to SD card. Wii U 2012, 8 gigabytes / 32 gigabytes. Nintendo Switch 2017, 32 gigabytes or 64 gigabytes on the OLED model. And let's not forget about Satellaview 1995, saved to a 0.001 gigabyte memory pack. I can't believe they said, and let's not forget about. The peripheral for the Super Famicom lets you download games via satellite. We've offered you ways to download and save games for as long as Nintendo has been a household name. Now, re-release Satellaview stuff, please. That would be pretty awesome. I can't... They actually mention... They're mentioning a lot of obscure stuff in this game. 1. How many gigabytes of system memory does the Nintendo Switch 2 console have? 32, 64, and 2022. I forgot to read out the answers. 2. Which of the following is the fastest reading game data? Game cards, microSD express memory cards, the system memory, or they're all the same speed? 3. Which of the following Nintendo services was the first to let you save game data in the form of a download? Also, what is this? Oh, is that the X, like, Star Fox looking thing? I don't know. Virtual Console, Nintendo Power Cartridge. What is that? I'm assuming that's not a thing. Disc Writer, Satellaview. I think we're on to the last quiz here. Great work. I'm so glad to see that you have a full understanding of the console's storage. It looks to be a fiber. So I think we're almost done. Yo. You can learn about the Switch 2 console's operating system here. You can learn about how Nintendo Switch games run on Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo's past operating systems, and more. Now let's get these operating system insights fully operational. We got 5 here. Alright, here we go. Last one. The operating system. Not every piece of Nintendo Switch 2 software is a game. The console comes installed with software that's always running in the background. This is called the operating system, or OS for short. The OS helps game developers by making it easier to create games. It can also download software and update data while you're playing games, find out what your friends are up to, send out notifications, and more. The OS quietly supports games in the background. A dedicated gaming operating system. The Nintendo Switch 2 operating system is dedicated to gaming. In fact, that's specifically what it was made for. Operating systems found in smart devices and PCs are designed to do many things. But when an OS is dedicated to gaming, it focuses solely on game-related tasks. That's why it was designed to be small. This allows for more of the console's processing power and memory to be used on games. Nintendo Switch 2 console is designed for playing games, after all, so games are naturally prioritized. Rewriting programs. Inside the Wii U console, what? This is an opening of all time. There's a Wii computer. This lets you play Wii games on the Wii U. However, the Nintendo Switch 2 console is different. You won't find a Nintendo Switch computer inside. And the Switch computer works differently from the Nintendo Switch computer. This means the Nintendo Switch games won't work as they are. Despite this, you can still play Nintendo Switch games on Nintendo Switch 2. How is this possible? Well, when you play a Nintendo Switch game, the OS adapts it to the way the Nintendo Switch 2 console works. It does so by rewriting Nintendo Switch programs such as shader binaries on the fly. When you play a Nintendo Switch game, the Nintendo Switch 2 OS is rewriting things in the background. By the way, because you're playing a Nintendo Switch game on Nintendo Switch 2, which is not using the Nintendo Switch computer, you may notice some improved performance, such as faster loading times and smoother gameplay. Firmware. This isn't strictly related to the operating system, but there are a number of different computers inside the Nintendo Switch 2 console and its accessories. The main computer is just one of them. For example, the Joy-Con 2 controllers and dock each contain their own computers. In fact, every single game card contains a computer. Not only that, each computer has its own software that runs on it. This software is called firmware. Because the Nintendo Switch 2 console is designed for playing games, we customize each piece of firmware to make it easier to use with games. In other words, each Joy-Con 2 controller, dock, and game card runs its own custom firmware. Nintendo and operating systems. Nintendo game consoles have had their own operating systems for some time. Ever since Wii, in fact. Nintendo 64 and Nintendo DS also have operating systems, but in these cases the OS is mainly included in the game software. Since the release of the Wii, the OS has been installed on the console instead of running in the background. It has performed all sorts of functions to improve your gameplay experience. For example, Wii Connect 24 for Wii. Street Pass and Spot Pass for Nintendo 3DS. Miiverse for Wii U. Switching between TV mode, tabletop, and handheld mode on Nintendo Switch. And so on. Street Pass and Spot Pass mention. Also Miiverse mention. Again, a lot of... I wouldn't call them obscure, but like... You know, things that you wouldn't think they would bring up at all. Anyway, last quiz. 1. What's the name of the software that comes installed in Nintendo Switch 2 and runs in the background? The PS, the DS, OS, the VS. I feel like this is a direct reference to PlayStation. I know, I just get that vibe. I don't know. 2. What operating system does the Nintendo Switch 2 console use? The same OS used on smart devices, the same OS used on some PCs, an OS dedicated to gaming, the same OS used for Hanafuda playing cards. It's funny. 3. What allows Nintendo Switch 2 to play Nintendo Switch games? The Nintendo Switch 2 computer contained within Nintendo Switch 2, the operating system rewriting data in the background, the system converting data on the fly via an internet connection. Nintendo Switch games cannot be played on Nintendo Switch 2. That would suck. That would actually suck. 4. What type of software runs the Nintendo Switch 2 computer, the Joy-Con 2 controllers, and other Nintendo devices? Firmware, homeware, T-ware, streetware. And 5. Nintendo's been using game consoles with operating systems installed since the release of which game console? Super Nintendo Entertainment System, Nintendo 64, Nintendo DS, Wii. Why is, like, Nintendo 64 called Nintendo 64, but Wii is just called Wii? Like, why is... I don't... Anyway. We did it. It can't be. You completed all the quizzes. We did it. Insight quiz is completed. Thanks for playing. Let's go. We did it. You've read all the insights. This is truly a remarkable moment. There's a lot of technology and especially effort that you can't see just by looking at the surface. That's why we wanted to provide insight. We wanted everyone to appreciate all Nintendo Switch 2 has to offer. I hope all of this helped you gain a deeper appreciation of its workings. Thank you for having read so many insights. It really means a lot to me. And there's a crown on it now. Wait, there's a crown? And not a star. That's concerning. But there we go. We did it. But we now get to go down here. Did you get all the stamps? I did. Now take me to wherever I'm going. The final room is just through here. I'm gonna join a secret club. Whoa, what is any of this? There's more stamps? There's more stamps? Where am I? What is any of this? What is happening? Main memory left. Are we in the main computer? What the fuck is happening? Main memory lower. What is happening? Yo, sup? Ah, so you finally made it. You've almost completed the stamp rally. There's some stamps in down here, so take a look around. And here's the last one. Nothing else to do in this room? SoC, System on a Chip. This functions as the main computer. No star. It's whatever. Did you get all the stamps? Let me check your map. Feels good. Feels good. Marvelous. They're all here. But it's not over yet? What do you mean? I have one last challenge for you. Are you ready to take on the Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome to our final quiz? What do you mean? I'm not prepared for this. What do you mean, final quiz? I'm not ready for this. 1. What is the name of the mechanism that attaches the Joy-Con 2 controllers to the console? Oh, God. Controller port, controller connector, magnetic connector. I think it's this. Okay. 2. How many USB Type-C connectors does the Nintendo Switch 2 console have? What do you mean? No, there's one on the bottom, Wait, okay, no, there's one at the top and there's one at the bottom. It has to be 2, right? It has to be 2. Yeah, 2. Okay, cool. 3. What is the name of the button on the Joy-Con 2 that opens Game Chat? That's the C button. It's not the Cha-Cha button. Where's the Cha-Cha button? Which of the following parts has a stamp that can be found on Joy-Con 2 R area? Has a stamp that can be found in the Joy-Con 2 R area. HD Rumble 2. It has to be. 5. The mouse feet on a Joy-Con 2 strap attached to your Joy-Con 2 controller affect the controller obey. They stop it from slipping? The mouse feet on a strap help it move around. That's that. 6. Which of the following is present on the Switch 2 dock? Rumble feature, a port. That's this. It's the HDMI port. 7. What happens when you turn the slider for the Nintendo Switch 2 camera's privacy shutter? The lens is covered up. Yeah, because it's, yeah, it has to be that. 8. Which of the following parts has a stamp that can be found in the Joy-Con 2 left inner area? It has to be the, no, because it's on the right. It's on the right one. You cheeky bastards. I almost fell for the trick too. What is located right in the middle of the grip? The player LED, a rubber cap with feet, the Nintendo Switch 2 logo. Right in the middle. It's right in the middle. It has to be. The logo. 10. Which of the following cannot be found on the Pro Controller? SL and SR buttons, because they're on the side of Joy-Cons. 11. What is the shape of the Joy-Con 2 wheel? I'm overlooking this question. Okay. 12. Which of the following is located at the very end of the Nintendo Switch 2 console inner area? The SOC, the C button, HDMI with 2 parts, mouse sensors, the SOC. Yeah, the very end. It has to be. 13. The exhibition commemorates the release of which Nintendo console? Nintendo Entertainment System, Wii, Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch 2. Please. Yes! Dude, I'm a gamer! I'm a gamer! I'm a gamer! I'm a gamer! You passed the final quiz! What a success! The stamp rally is now complete! Oh, we did it! We did it! I can't believe I aced that. It was stressful. Alright, I haven't introduced myself yet, have I? My apologies, let's correct that. Not to brag, but I actually play a very important role at this exhibition. I'm its curator. Yeah, I figured. Nice job making it this far. This is the deepest level of the Nintendo Switch 2 console inner area. I know you've explored many different areas before winding up here, but were there any particular exhibits that left an impression on you? Needless to say, these sprawling grounds an important part of the exhibition itself. I'm so happy you explored every corner so thoroughly. Mind if I take a look at your map? You've been all over the exhibition hall. Thanks for making it all the way here. I hope you continue to enjoy the space. So now there's a crown on the stamps. Alright, let's go. Wait, why am I missing a 1% in the inner area? Oh, because of the tech demo. Okay, so I think... yeah, we just have to go back and do a couple mini-games that we unlocked. So there you go. We reached the end. We made it. Okay. So we can't do that. So we'll go to... can't do any tech demos. So we'll start at the top and work our way down. And we'll get 2 medals, no further. Alright, speed medals 3. Here we go. So we got 42 medals. Yeah, I got 96 of them. So we'll do Mace Attack in part 3 and go round and round to reach the goal. Alright, let's go. Speed Mace 3, a pair of glasses. Alright, we gotta get 5 seconds. Oh my god. Oh, this looks horrible. I've just realized that I have to change. Oh god, I have to change my sensitivity. It's so bad. It's so high. Hold on. Controllers. Sensitivity. Medium. Thank God. Alright. Cool. No, dude. Dude, there's no way. You have to get there in 2.5. Probably that's insane. Dude, that's insane. Oh, dude. I choked. I'm choking so bad. Ah, I didn't get it. I missed it by 0.41. You actually hate to see it. Nope, that was fast, but I didn't get it. Let's go. If it's sub 4, I'm just gonna beat the minigame again. If it's sub 4, I'll get it. Let me just go slow. I'm gonna crash out. Dude. 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 I mean, I just want to know what the other medal is. Thank you. It's 3. I'm not right now. If I get it, I'll do it later. Alright. Alright. And I gotta do the last part as well. Got 75. A tight squeeze. Moving walls? Ugh. Moving walls. Moving walls. Moving walls. I'll shut up. Oh, it's 1. Oh. Oh, this is awful. Dude, this is awful. Okay, I got 1.51. This actually doesn't look too terrible. Oh, damn. Ugh. Dude, I'm choking. Dude, it's like... Oh, that's the strap. Mm. I think you gotta be kidding me. Got it. Look at that hesitation there. Point! What? Oh my god. That would have been good too. Oh my god, dude. We should go so much faster than that. Oh, look at that. That's terrible. That's even worse. Oh, dude. Just a bad cycle. It's another bad one. I can't believe that worked. I can't believe that worked. That's comedy, dude. Oh, I'm gonna have over 100 medals. Oh, that's sick. That's rad. How you already finished? I've never seen anyone get to the goal that quickly before. Alright, then we got Speed Golf 3. 49 medals. Angular course. Part 3 is hard-edged angular course. Take special care when putting left to right. Oh, this one is gonna suck. As the first one was bad. Probably freaking like 5. Oh! Wait, can I? I gotta... I know, I tried. Hmm. Mm. Oh, dude. I can't hit it like all the way. What? You're kidding. Hmm. Nope. Ugh. Hitting it too hard still. No! Ugh, that's brutal. No, too hard. Oh, man, it went off straight off the cliff, dude. Oh, dude. Got it. Dude, that wasn't even the freaking third medal. It's probably something stupid like sub 9. I'm a gamer! He's a gamer! I'm a gamer! I'm a gamer. I'm a gamer. I'm a gamer. Okay. Other 3 medals down. Oh, this is a journey, dude. Alright, 104. You obviously nailed the strength of your putts. Part 4, final part, it's up for 81 medals. Speed golf 4, pitfall course. It's full of holes. There are lots, so be careful to avoid them. Okay. Okay, so it's shorter than 7. Where am I? Oh, that's a weird spot. Can I go up there and do a 2-shot? I feel like I can do a 2-shot. Oh, I can totally do that. I just need to not be stupid. This first shot's the hard part. Wait, what? Yeah. There it is. There it is, homies. Golf is done. I can't believe that was like one of the easiest ones. It was just one quick shot and then a recovery. That's crazy. That feels good. 107. How about why you tackle the course? Hats off to you. Okay, so D is actually done for minigames. Alright, I gotta do click quick. 77. Random targets. Ugh. Part 3, the targets had fixed starting positions. Now they can be anywhere at random. Dude, this is gonna be RNG hell. It has to make it RNG hell. Oh no. Oh, this is horrible. 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 Okay, I got 2.34. It's because the last 3 targets were right next to each other. It's RNG! It's RNG, dude! Ugh. Okay, well, it doesn't look too bad because I already have 2 medals. The first 2, it took me a while to do that. Alright. Okay. I mean, every one I do is just another one I don't have to do anymore, so... Which is nice. This is the last quick click. I need 1.8. That feels doable, so I'll give it attempts. Dude, they're so far away. That was a layup, dude, that last one. Losing my groove. I'm losing my groove, dude. Dude, the close ones. Bro. Yes! I'm free! I'm free, dude! I'm free! I genuinely, this is... I don't want to do a color the shapes. Beyond compare. I don't want to do more shapes, but I'm gonna do more shapes. E is 100% now. Oh, that's cool. That's really rad. Okay, so 2 areas are actually 100%. Okay, here we go. 84 medals. You now snake at your leisure. Okay, I feel like this won't be bad. I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna scream my head off. So hopefully it's not bad. Color Snake, this quick little fellow really put your mouse skills to the test. Alright, here we go. Snake, how do you look? Oh, under 12. Okay. Okay. I see. Okay. Okay. I hate this already. Brutal. Okay. I feel like I can go a lot faster because the lines are really thick here. That was fast. Okay, I actually got it. Okay, I got medal 2. Can I get medal 3? Ten. 8! 8! 8! Okay, that's okay. That's crazy. Okay, I see it. This is nuts. This is nuts, dude. Nine 9.11. Okay, still 0.1.1. Wow. Okay, I need to put on the strap, and this is gonna take a minute. I'm clearly struggling, dude. This is actually insane. Dude, you can't miss shit. Okay, that's faster. Okay. Got it. Ugh. Dude, every one of these minigames are equally terrible. Oh my god. Ugh. Dude, this game is breaking me. Oh my god. Dude, my commentary has developed to like the point where it's, dude, it's, oh my god. Thank fucking god. Alright, well, what else do I have left? Nothing. Nothing aside from this one. Dodge the spiked balls. Twin UFOs. Nightmare mode. Someone's been busy. You got the 99 medals you need. Unlock Dodge the spiked balls for Twin UFOs Nightmare mode. You may think that everything up to part 3 has been pretty tough, but part 4 is your reality check. You might call it a spike in difficulty. Ugh, dude, I'm not. This better not say like 2 minutes or some shit. 20. So I have to collect stars. And we only have to collect 20. How hard could that be? Okay. I already got a medal. How bad? Okay, okay. I already got a medal. Dude, this twin focus thing is gonna suck. Okay. Got 14 PB. Okay. It's fine. Okay. Oh, this is doable. It just might take a couple of attempts. A lot of it is RNG too. Where the stars are, where the spike balls are. Okay, we're at 10. Okay, I got 20. I got 21. I got 21. I got 21. Okay. I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna see what the third medal is. It's probably 30. If it's more than that, I will cry. Okay, that's doable. That's so doable. I'm gonna quit. I got my 2 medals. That's all I need for the 100% on the area. I got it. Medals 114 and 115. Such masterful dodging. Such elegant mouse handling. Okay, I think that's... Yeah, 100% in the information center. So I think everything that we're missing... I can't do this because it needs the 4K TV. That's going to be in the bonus episode. Bonus episode. Bonus episode. That's bonus episode as well. Bonus episode. Bonus episode. That's bonus episode. That's bonus episode. Bonus episode is there on the Pro Controller. And that's it. So I think we're done with stuff that we can be doing on the TV outside of the Pro Controller. Because we can do that on the TV too. So with that, I guess this is the unofficial end of Welcome Tour. I don't think I'm going for 3 medals. You know, I did my darndest. But there's some in here that are brutal. You know, dodge the spiked balls. You know, this one's not bad. You know, but this one's just brutal. I'm sure I could probably do it because I'm a lot better. These two are brutal. These two suck. You know, the speed mazes are possible. That one seems hard though. And I got all of those. And then I did pretty good at everything after that. This, though, can go to hell. I hate this one. Literally giving me physical, like, arm pain. It sucked. And then the stunt driving is probably, you know, possible. I just, you know, didn't put enough time to do it. You know, because at that point I was like, 3 medals or I'm good. I'm fine. So, I would say, that's it for 3D for I was about to say 3DS Welcome Tour. I don't know, I got 3DS on the mind. So, but that's it for Nintendo Switch Welcome Tour. If you've made it this far, first of all, how? And second of all, this is my first ever completed playthrough on the channel. So it feels really good to have it done, even though it's not really complete because these triple medals are garbage. They suck so bad. But yeah. I guess there you go. That was it. We did it. We beat the game. We got a crown on our insights and our stamps. And I did all of the mini games with at least 2 medals that I could on video for now. When I do get my Pro Controller and when I do get the camera, I don't know. I probably won't come back to this immediately. But, you know, it'll be, you know, something like that. So, with that, something, thank you for watching, something, I haven't said this yet, but subscribe, I don't know, like the video, nobody else is watching this. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next playthrough that I decide to do, / continue in Wind Waker, because I got that too, can't forget about that. And Mario Kart World, that too. So yeah, something, I'll see you guys next time. Pickles.